teach Qur'an City to children, basically how to build Qur'an City. So I'm going to do a hands-on sort of understanding of it. First of all, you can see this is a Lego Qur'an City. So it's built entirely out of Lego. And I'm going to go step by step of how we started building this, or how you can start building it with your children. And it doesn't matter what sort of Lego they have. It can be, you know, whatever they use. I've used clear bricks, and I'll show you them in a minute to show you how we built it. But before I do that, I'm just going to go over some of the things I talked about last time when I said that the concept arose because we were trying to teach the children an overview of the Quran and sort of information of the Quran through making it a little bit more fun than anything else. So we started off with 114 buildings. I'd like you to watch and see how I do this. So what I will do now is I'm going to switch over to how we start. This is raw stuff here, okay? So the first thing that we did was build 114 buildings. Now, if you look at these buildings, they're like this. So what I used was, I used these bricks. These are Lego bricks. There's clear bricks. You can use any bricks, really. I bought loads of these clear bricks. And I sort of did 30 ayat per centimeter. So if you were doing Surah Al-Baqarah, which is 286 ayat, I sort of rounded it up to 300 ayat. And if you divide that, then the length of Surah Al-Baqarah would be 10 centimeters. And I'll show you it in a minute. So the first thing we did was make 114 buildings like that. On the buildings, they either had yellow roofs or green roofs. You can see them here. So these were the Lego tops that I had, yellow and green, like that. And then we printed stickers. You see those stickers there? We printed these stickers which had the name of each of the surahs. Now some people couldn't do that. They couldn't manage. So when we first started and we thought the stickers, you couldn't do it, some people just wrote the names. Can you see that? 99 Zilzal. So you can do that too. So the first step is to have 114 buildings like this. And you can see there's a building here with a sticker on top. So you had 86 yellow buildings and 28 green buildings. So the first thing the child learned was that there's 114 buildings. There are 86 Makki and there are 28 Madani. The 86 Makki all talk about why. 2/3 of the Quran is about why. 1/3 of the Quran is how. So this was the first initial teaching to the child or to the student or to the adult or to the teacher that Makki surahs were short ayat. They focused on Tawheed, Risala and Qiyamah. There was an invitation to Tawheed. Accountability was emphasized. Jannah and Jahannam was emphasized. The story of Adam and Shaitan is only in the Makki surahs. It was Ya Ayyuhan Nas, or human beings, and 26 of the 29 Huruful Muqatti'at, which we talked about last time, were in the Makki surahs. While the Madani surahs is how? They're longer ayat, they're formal ayat, social responsibilities, hypocrisy, law. Ya Ayyuhal Ladina Amanu comes into the Madani surah except in Surah Al-Hijr. There's a little bit of an overlap, but shouldn't worry too much about it. People of the book are mentioned. The permission to defend oneself is in the Makki surahs. There's legislation, and Quran and the Masumin are the ultimate authority. So this is how we started with these buildings. So you have 114 buildings. Now what do you do? So now you pick up a Lego board like that, a plain Lego board. And with this Lego board, I would have started with that's the gate. So the first thing I would teach them is how to build a gate. You can see how easy that is. To make a gate, Iqra, we talked about it last time, and the conditions of what to do, how to enter. You can do all sorts of gates if you want. I'll show you a building in a minute. Then this was, if you remember when we talked about it, this was Viewpoint Terrace. Why do you want to visit Qur'an City? For what? There must be a reason. I mean, people visit for various reasons. So you visited and you'd put the two buildings here, which were Mu'minun, if you remember, and Zumar, because you wanted to be part of the Mu'minun and you wanted to zoom to Jannah. Basically, that's what you want to say. So you'd put that in. Now, this is what one of the teachers had done once. After that, we build a road system. Can you see that? So this road system is built in green. It doesn't have to be green. You can do whatever color you want. White, yellow. You can leave it empty. Like if you look here on this Qur'an City, and I'll try and swap it over so you can see it. There you go. So on this Qur'an City, you can see that the road is just plain grey, and the suburbs are just slotted into there. Okay, so I'll show you my little city that I had built on the one that you've got here is massive. That's 4 boards. This one is smaller. Let me swap back again. If you look at my city here, can you see it? So that's the gate, and then that was our first city that we built, and we just amended it slightly. You can see the helicopter, and immediately you know it's Isra, because he went up, right? You can see there's all sorts of things. There's a throne there, if I can, that one, and that's the throne of Sheba. You've got a fountain there, which is Gauthar. If you look at the naughty center, you've got a flame there, and you know that's Lahab. So we just picked up tiny little things. So the next step would be to prepare your board with the different suburbs on it. And it's quite easy, because all you do is look at the map that you have of Qur'an City, which you might have downloaded, and you prepare that. So I'm going to swap back to the PowerPoint, and you can see what we did over there, right? So we're going to look at this map, and we're going to go through each of the suburbs so you know how we built it. So these were the buildings that I showed you. I'll go over them again. I'll keep on swapping back and forth. So that's my building material. That's the tops, and that's the yellow tops. You can use a whole plethora of I'm trying to see what I have here, but I have enough Lego to fill a shop with. So you will use any sort of Lego bricks to build these buildings. If you didn't want to measurement like I did, 30 ayat per centimeter, you could do, you see, the Quran is also divided into surahs according to length. So you will find there's called Sab'atiwal, the long 7, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 and 9 are put together. So these are surahs that are long. So you could do them as one height. Then you have Al-Mi'in, which is approximately 100 ayat, 10 to 40. Then you have Al-Mathani, which are less than 100 ayats, but lots of things are repeated in them. That's 41 to 54. And then you have Al-Mufassal, which are the separated ones, which is 55 to 114. But I preferred, so that the children also learned a bit of math, to look at the amount of ayat, and then I would round it up and divide it. Like I told you, it worked, 30 ayat per centimeter. And they actually learned how many ayat there are. And as you can see in this one, you can see the length of the building length, or the height of the building actually makes a difference. Can you see that? And it really, really worked. So I'm going to go back into the PowerPoint, and we'll take you through the quadrants again so you understand what I'm doing. So I'll start again, and I'll be pretty precise. You will build 114 buildings. 86 with yellow roofs, like that, or not, you saw them, and you will bring 28 with green roofs. And you'll lay them out in a line, and it'll be 1 to 114, and you will number them. That's how you will do it. So here we go, like that, and they'll be numbered, and they will have stickers. If you want these stickers, we can order them for you, which are squares which go on top, but I don't know what size of Lego you'll be using. Okay, so you can use them on anything. These are vinyl stickers that we had printed, and they really did work, and it made life so much easier than having to write on like that. This is what many of the teachers wrote. That's how we started. Okay, all right, back to the PowerPoint. So now you can see that's Gauthar, that's built up there. That's your Qur'an City map, which you had before. So you start off with an entrance. Now you can do any entrance that you like. I showed you one that was brown, but it's entirely up to you. And you can put Iqra on there. The children can go wild. They can do whatever they want. Then we had the city center. And this is how we did the city center. Because Lego doesn't have rounded bricks, instead of doing a circle, you could have something like that. And the city center has got 4 buildings on it. Now this is from the bigger version than I've shown you here. So this had, I mean, the buildings are slightly bigger. On here, and I go back and forth, on here you can see my city center. Can you see it? Here the city center is smaller. It's very, very small. It fits into that. Can you see that? That square there. And that's probably what you might want to do. It's entirely up to you. So here the city center is much smaller than what we have on the PowerPoint. So the first thing you do after you put the gate and the and the roads in is build the city center. Now we talked about this last week, and you keep on building them up, and I'll keep on showing them to you. That was Viewpoint Terrace. Suratul Qamar, you remember that the moon was right at the top. So again, I will go back and show you on the city. The moon is right at the top up there. Can you see it? Don't know whether you can see it. There you go. You can see it up. Trying to move it so you can see it there. It's this one here. Okay. There you go. There's the moon up there. So then you'd put a circle around it, and they would know this is the surah of the moon. And the reason why it's up there is because, if you remember from last week, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. So this is how you built up each of the quadrants, or I don't like calling them quadrants, each of the suburbs. That's Divine Center. You've got Musabbihat Place. You've got Hamidat Place. Muhammad Square. Now in Muhammad Square we put a mosque in. And it was important for us to put that in because the Prophet used the mosque as central in Medina. There's Victory Circle, Kamil Close. With the last ayah, you can see I've put 5-3 there. So on there, we'd also put the number of the ayah that was the last ayah revealed. There's Qiyamah Close. All these talked about Qiyamah. We talked about this last week. Now these are the 4 corners. You have Kul Corner, Kaaba Corner, Woman's Corner, and what I call Naughty Corner or Exiled Corner. Now in my exiled corner, if you saw the first one that I built, I put that little orange flame near Lahab. You can pick up lots of different things to put in. Tawbah, turn straight after exiled corner to come out of it. Every city needs an energy zone. So we slotted in an energy zone. And I'll show you my energy zone. So if you look, you can pick up lots of different things in Lego. So that is like a lamp. You see that lamp? So I made that lamp. It's not even a lamp. It's a top with a little yellow brick there, and I just stuck that on top, and that made a difference. Okay. The next one after energy zone is healthy zone. Now near healthy zone, I don't know whether you can see that, I put a bee and I put a pot of honey. Can you see that? Because energy zone talked about that, and it just made it fun for the children. They understood it so much better. You can see my beautiful bee up there. Okay, so that was energy zone. I'll go back to the PowerPoint, see if you can work through that. So that's healthy zone. Comfort zone. Remember the heart that we talked about. So you have Duha and Inshira. Qasam place. All the things that were, all the surahs that talked about oaths. Then Huruful Muqatti'at area. That's a whole big area. Again, I'll go back and you can see it on here. So that's the whole of Huruful Muqatti'at area. It's a whole big green area. And basically worked through this whole thing. It was fun, and it still is fun. And finally, the 2 surahs that were left over, we put them in Anbiya Annex. I talked about to you, this is Suratul Anbiya and Suratul Nuh, because they were near the Ra'at. They were near the Anbiya as such, who were there. And that, in essence, is how we build Qur'an City. It's not rocket science. It's not like the most difficult thing in the world. It's really easy, provided you know how to do it.